Hello, Maximus here, this time bringing you the Battle of Pella with Galatia against the Seleucids. I haven't tried Galatia before, I think. They have some nice Galatian legionnaires, some decent quality infantry units all across the board, so I decided to bring a total of 12 sword infantry mixed between Galatian swords and Galatian legionnaires, some Celtic slingers for support, 2 noble horse to stop any cavalry, and 2 Galatian spears. And my opponent, you could see his build in the previous screen, but he has a line of thorax swords backed up by 30 spears, and silver shield sword general, which proved to be an extremely durable unit, and Syrian heavy archers. So since the skirmishing advantage definitely goes to my opponent, I want to have the engagement here. I don't need to wait for him to move around here, or so that he can establish himself in the woods and slowly work his way up towards me here. So what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to take my Galatian swords and rush them down here, have my Galatian legionnaires behind, and just keep my general away from any nastiness up here. And the slingers, they won't be able to do much in this type of terrain, but I am leaving them around here to hopefully draw in some cavalry that I can then engage with my spears. And you can see it's already got some camel spearmen waiting up here, but I'm not too bothered about them. They aren't supported, it seems like. And over here I'm just not going to give him any opportunities to attack my guys with too many missiles, and I want to make sure that I get the charge, because these units have a pretty decent charge bonus, 28, so they are going to be able to get the charge on this unit of thorax swords, and the unit of thorax swords isn't going to get a good charge here, but these guys weren't able to get a good charge either. My Galatian swords here are they've kind of botched the charge a bit, but here they go into the flanks of that unit. Over here I'm just using these units to chase away these camel spears, and I'm just basically sending these Galatian legionnaires into anything I can see, because although they are inferior to thorax swords, I have significantly more, so I just want to pin his forces down here and get into the forest, where I'll take less damage from these dangerous Syrian archers. So an infantry battle is developing here. First unit of Galatian swords is wavering, the slingers are firing, hardly getting any kills, but he's moving some cataphracts around here, which I'm going to have to deal with. So I'm sending my spears in. I want to preferably engage them in the forest, so they are slower. See, my Celtic slingers are already taking fire from the Syrian heavy archers. Keeping my Galatian spears here for a while. And here came the camel spearmen into my noble horse in a nice downhill charge, but they are inferior troops and another unit of camel spearmen, so sneaky move here by my opponent. I didn't see it coming because I was focused here. So he'll be able to tie down my general for a while, but a lone unit of camel spearmen like this isn't going to last very long against noble horse. So he's able to, with some losses, pull his Hellenic cataphracts around here, and he's going to go for my general and my slingers, I think. Over here the fight is fairly stable. His Thuria spears are dropping, they are getting swamped by... I sent in all my legionnaires as well, because there were some weird angles going on and I didn't want him to be able to push through with anything. Rear charges from the cataphracts here are going to make my Galatian swords waver a bit from taking casualties. So I'm just going to use these slingers to shoot a bit at the Hellenic cataphracts, do some damage to them. And here my general is holding against cataphracts. They did charge uphill, so maybe it would have been a better idea to get them down here. That would have hurt my general quite a bit, but this fight is close to over, and the noble horse lost a few guys, but nothing significant. And now I'm firing at the camel spearmen to kill them a bit faster. The unit of Galatian swords is routing, and I was bringing in his cataphracts for rear charges all over the line. The Galatian legionnaires are able to withstand the charge a bit better than the swords, but they are still in trouble. Over here I managed to get some Galatian swords into the camel spears, but they are shot to death by Syrian archers. Over here a unit of Galatian spears is holding off 2 units of camel spearmen, getting some kills on them, which is good. I'm still firing at the cataphracts. So I'm going to pull away this unit of noble horse and charge it back. But the cataphracts are dying. Didn't get a good charge, and I guess they are starting to get, yeah, they're tired, and my units are only active, so that's good. Some wavering going on from Hellenic cataphracts due to slinger fire and such, and his silver shields are just racking up kills here. And now I'm going to chase away his archers with my Galatian legionnaires. Some idle legionnaires there, Galatians, and here my Galatian spears have killed one unit of camel spears and is finishing the other, so nice little unit. His camels managed to go for my slingers, which is fine. The other slingers are still shooting at the Hellenic cataphracts, but now I'm going to finish these camel spears with my charge from my general. And here there are so few cataphracts left that I'm just chasing them with my noble horse. They're going to slam into the rear of these guys, but my noble horse are following right behind, so the Hellenic cataphracts are a non-factor at this moment. A unit of Galatian swords has come back from routing, and a unit of Celtic slingers, which I didn't notice, didn't really need them at this point. Managed to catch some of his archers here. They haven't gotten too many kills, probably because of the wood. And here his Hellenic cataphracts are routing, and now it's just a matter of using my superior numbers to mop up what he has left. He only has, infantry-wise, silver shield swords and thorax swords, and I think he has them in... they are holding very well because they are in a shield wall, but they aren't able to kill very well. I think it was pretty cool with the almost camouflage color scheme of the Galatians in this forest here. The Seleucids are a bit easier to pick out. So I really like Galatia. Very simple build, this, just a bunch of swords and some light support, but still I think it's quite fun to play with actually. You get a bit vulnerable to balanced armies that can kill a lot of your guards fast with maybe some elephants and chariots, but on this type of map that's not really a huge factor because there are so many woods and hills and things to slow down these units. So here my general, he's almost dead, but I'm maneuvering him away from the Assyrian heavy archers that are being attacked by the Galatian legionnaires. And overall the Galatian legionnaires are doing fairly well. Not a single one of them has routed, I think. 3 spears are holding here in phalanx, but they are getting surrounded pretty badly. And here you can see how the trees are kind of breaking up the melee and making engagements a bit harder. So with my numerical superiority, this was what I wanted. And here the thorax swords, also in shield wall, are in trouble. I don't know why they dismounted here, because I probably clicked the wrong button, but they're charging in on foot. Not really a factor at this point, but it could have been bad if that happened earlier in the fight. So rear charging the thorax swords here, my noble horse, and there they go. Now there's only these Syrian archers. They don't have discipline, so I'm thinking that when the silver shields go down, they will also go down pretty quickly. And you also see I had an uphill advantage here. So a close victory. You can see that my Galatian legionnaires showed to be extremely survivable. Probably because these light Galatian swords took most of the damage going in. But with this build, with I think my opponent going against Galatia, he probably wasted a lot of his potential by going for these camel spearmen, and the cataphracts and archers, he wasn't able to use them to their full potential because of the forest. So I got a bit lucky with this build. It's quite forgiving, and had a nice battle against the Seleucids here. It would be more difficult for me on more open ground, but there you go. Thanks for watching, and see you on the battlefield.